This next question is one that, Greg, you actually touched on the answer to this to some extent, but maybe the two of you could expand on it. It comes from Richard Surser from Tucson, Arizona. He says, Berkshire's annual report indicated that Berkshire had 391,539 employees at the end of 2019. Which areas of our operations have already been hardest hit or will be by the coronavirus pandemic, and what are the implications for the continued employment of those people?
Those people are employed in dozens and dozens of different industries, and there are a few industries that there's a fair likelihood that our employment could be reduced, but they're not large. I'm just thinking as I'm talking. I mean, it's not like we're, in some of the businesses that, we're not in the hotel business or various aspects of travel and entertainment and all of that could really be changed in a very major way. So I don't see our employment. I'll put it this way: 5 years from now, I think Berkshire will be employing considerably more people, and I don't see where we'll have large dips. But the virus could take off in certain ways that in some of our manufacturing businesses, for example, the demand could be dramatically reduced, and in those cases we would have layoffs at some point. Greg?
What I would add, Warren, is that as we are in the sort of crux of the pandemic, we're still dealing with it, so our businesses have adjusted. Some have had to adjust more. We have, if you look at Berkshire Hathaway Energy, for example, you can see U.S. electricity consumption's down 4%. That realistically doesn't impact that business in a significant way, and longer term will continue to grow that business. So even during the crisis, a relatively small impact to the business. But as Warren knows, we do have retailers that their doors are shut right now, be it our See's Candy, some of our jewelers, and at that point in time, we do adjust and adapt to the environment, i.e. we adjust our workforce, but equally we do see, for example, See's, at a point our stores will reopen, and at that point we re-employ the folks. And overall for Berkshire as a whole, as Warren said, 5 years from now, we see our employment numbers being far greater than they are today, and that we see great prospects within the operating businesses as a whole.
Yeah, See's is an interesting example because we've owned that since 1972. That's a long time, and we love it, and we continue to love it. And I have a box here of our peanut brittle, and I've got another box of fudge right here, and I'll probably take them all home and not share with Greg. But we were in the midst of our Easter season, and Easter is a big sales period for See's, and I don't know whether we were halfway through, but we weren't halfway through in terms of the volume that's going to be delivered because it comes toward the end. And essentially we were shut down, and we remain shut down. The malls we've got 220 or so retail stores, and we've got a lot of, Furniture Mart sells our candy, but the Furniture Mart's closed down. And so See's business stopped. And it's a very seasonal business to start with, so we have a lot of seasonal workers too that come in, particularly for the Christmas season. But we have a lot of Easter candy, and Easter candy's kind of specialized too, so we won't sell it. And we produced a good bit of it. We couldn't ship it. And we couldn't put it in stores, and there's some of that's going on. And of course, Greg does all the work on those sort of situations, and our managers are terrific, of course, in dealing with it. But this is a very, very unusual period, and like I say, a few years from now, I think Berkshire will be employing more people than 395,000. Over the years, we started with 2,000 at the textile business, and we've still got the same playbook.